Don't look back. You are not going that way. Once there was a young woman named Emma who had always dreamed of opening her own bakery. She had a love for baking that went back to her childhood, when she would spend hours with her grandmother, learning the secrets of cakes, pies, and pastries. Over the years, her passion for baking grew, but life had a way of pulling her in different directions. After college, Emma found herself stuck in a corporate job, far from the kitchen where her heart longed to be. Every day, she would scroll through pictures of delicious treats on social media, imagining herself behind the counter. The smell of fresh bread filling the air, but doubts always crept in. What if it doesn't work out? What if people don't like my food? What if I fail? She carried these questions like a heavy weight, and as time passed, they began to define her. Emma stayed in her job, afraid to take the leap. Her dreams felt distant, fading further into the past, and every time she thought about starting her bakery, she would look back at her mistakes, at the time she felt she had lost, at all the reasons she hadn't succeeded before. One late afternoon, while walking through the park near her office, Emma's mind raced as it often did. She thought about all the things she had left undone, all the opportunities she had missed, and wondered if she was simply told to chase a new dream. It was then that she noticed an elderly woman sitting alone on a bench, watching the sunset. The woman had a peaceful, serene look on her face, as though she were exactly where she needed to be. Curious, Emma approached her. The woman smiled and patted the space beside her. Emma sat down and they began to chat. At first, they talked about the weather, then slowly, the conversation turned more personal. The elderly woman introduced herself as Clara. I used to be like you, she said. I spent so many years looking back at the things I didn't do, at the dreams I never chased. The what-ifs of my past kept me from living fully in the present. Clara paused, her eyes distant for a moment, as if she were recalling something deeply personal. For a long time, I thought my time had passed. I thought I was too old to start over, but one day, I realized something important. No matter how many mistakes I had made, the past was gone. I couldn't change it. All I could do was move forward, one step at a time. Emma listened, captivated by Claire's words. The older woman continued, I think people often spend so much time looking back that they miss what's right in front of them. The only thing that matters is the path you're walking now. The only thing you can control is your next step. For a long moment, Emma sat in silence, reflecting on what Clara had said. It was as though a light bulb had gone off inside her. She had been living in the shadow of her own doubts, staring at a past that was already behind her. Her mistakes, the risks she hadn't taken, the opportunities she had missed, they were all part of her story, but they didn't have to define the future. She could start fresh. That evening, Emma made a decision. She wasn't going to keep looking back anymore. She wasn't going to let her past mistakes or fears keep her from moving forward. She would no longer let the what-ifs hold her hostage. The future was waiting, and it was hers for the taking. The next day, she enrolled in a small business course, and soon after, she started researching locations for her bakery. It wasn't easy. There were setbacks, financial struggles, and moments of doubt, but each time she felt the temptation to look back. To let the fear and uncertainty stop her, she remembered Claire's words. You're not going that way, she would tell herself. Months later, Emma opened the doors to Sweet Beginnings Bakery in a charming little spot downtown. Her first customers were friends and family, but word spread quickly. Soon, Emma was creating pastries for weddings, making cakes for birthdays, and filling her shop with the warmth of fresh bread every morning. As the years passed, Emma's bakery became a beloved staple in the community. But beyond the success of her business, Emma discovered something even more important. By not looking back, she had found a way to move forward with courage and clarity. Every day was a new opportunity to learn, to grow, and to embrace the future with an open heart. One afternoon, as she was closing up shop, Emma received a letter. It was from Clara, who had passed away quietly in her sleep a few weeks before. In the letter, Clara wrote, "I see you now, Emma. You're walking the path you were always meant to walk, and I'm proud of you. You did it. You moved forward." Emma smiled through her tears, knowing that Clara's wisdom had stayed with her, guiding her every step of the way. In the end, Emma realized that the true power of her journey wasn't just in the success of her bakery. It was in the ability to let go of the past and embrace the possibilities of the future. She had finally learned to stop looking back, and in doing so, she discovered that the best was yet to come.